Today I am sharing with you 20 quick and easy meals you can make for your family when you are tired of cooking. Every couple of months I hit this sort of impasse where I just am so tired of cooking, or maybe I'm just overwhelmed by the options, or I'm tired of making the same things over again, or I just can't think of what sounds good. The last time this happened was right around Christmas time, which is pretty normal for me because we've been doing a lot of holiday cooking and baking, and usually after that's all over, I'm ready to take a break for a little while. So I made this video where I mentioned 4 ideas, 4 dinners, 4 meals that you could make for your family whenever you are tired of cooking, and that video was pretty popular. You guys liked it. I feel like I'm sort of reaching that point again. So the other day I just sat down and I made a list of all of the things that I have made before that don't require a lot of cooking, that are maybe bare bones type ingredients, or that are just really simple recipes that come together quickly or with very little prep that I can make for my family. And I thought I would share them with you as well. I will leave that video I just mentioned and the 4 ideas that it includes linked in the description box below. But in addition to that, I came up with 16 more meal ideas off the top of my head that require very little cook time or prep time. Nachos. We eat nachos all the time. The bare basic of just tortilla chips and cheese. That's something that my kids can make themselves using the microwave, and we can dress it up using leftover meats like grilled chicken or pulled pork. We can open a can of beans. If we have a little sour cream or a little shredded lettuce or some tomatoes or salsa, we can top it with that as well. And it's also a great way to use up any of those leftover items, or like the odds and ends of things that we have hanging out in our refrigerator. Baked potatoes, another super easy go-to that we don't do enough, in part because my son is not a huge fan of potatoes, but we still have baked potatoes from time to time. I just usually wash mine, roll them in foil, and pop them into the oven at 400 until they are done. I've also made baked potatoes using the crock pot. It's the same thing. Wash them, roll them in foil, put them in the crock pot, and then I can cook them on low or on high depending on what time we want to eat. And a potato is a blank canvas. I used to eat baked potatoes with cottage cheese all the time in college. Just like nachos, you can put leftover meat and leftovers from your refrigerator on top of baked potatoes. You could also just open up a can of chili if you wanted to and put that on top of a baked potato with a little cheese and sour cream. Super easy meal that requires very little cooking. Crescent roll-ups. This is one that my 12-year-old daughter can actually make by herself. So it's a double win because she can actually make dinner for us. And that's where we take some crescent rolls, we put a little lunch meat and some cheese and roll it up and then bake them in the oven like normal. And we have these little mini sandwiches that are absolutely delicious. We can just have them with some fruit, with some chips, with some pretzels, and it's just a really quick, easy dinner. Plus there's lots of different combinations you can make with that. You could have ham and cheese, you could have turkey and cheese, you could have roast beef and provolone. You could put just cheese, maybe a couple of different kinds in them, and roll them up and have almost like little crescent grilled cheese style sandwiches. Super easy, always a hit with the kids, and something, like I said, that my 12-year-old can make on her own. Biscuits and gravy. Sausage gravy, not that hard to make. I will see if I can hunt down a really basic recipe and leave it linked in the description box for you. But basically, when I make sausage gravy, I just brown the sausage, sprinkle some flour in there with the sausage, pour in some milk, little cracked black pepper, stir it until it starts to thicken up, and then we just put it over biscuits, which quite frankly, I usually just buy the biscuits in the can and pop them into the oven. Or you can get biscuits, I think, in the frozen section that are already made up and you just have to reheat them. But super easy, delicious meal. It's kind of a staple in the South. We are not really Southern, we're more South adjacent, but biscuits and gravy definitely made their way here, and it's really easy, quick breakfast, lunch, or dinner. My mom makes this soup that she usually calls either Sooner soup or cowboy stew, depending on which children, her Sooner children or her OSU cowboy children, are at the house at the time. It's just a pound of ground beef, a can of minestrone soup condensed, 1 can of rotel, and then 2 cans of beans and 2 cans of mixed vegetables. And you just brown the ground beef and then put all the cans in there with it and let it simmer. You could also let it simmer in the crock pot. I've done that many times before. And then you just, sprinkle a little cheese on top, maybe have some garlic toast. Really easy, delicious meal. It's especially good in the winter. I think it's a really hearty soup. If I've got some veggies I'm trying to use up from the veggie crisper in the refrigerator, just about anything on a sheet pan with some smoked sausage works really well. So I'll just take the vegetables. I might toss them in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, maybe season them with a little bit of Tony's, dice up that that smoked sausage or that chicken sausage, the kind that's already cooked, put it with the vegetables, pop it in the oven until everything is tender and heated through, and then really easy meal. And by the way, a lot of times that sort of meal will work in an air fryer also. Today's video is sponsored by Green Chef. Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company with meal kits for a variety of lifestyles, including keto, paleo, Mediterranean, gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, and they even have a fast and fit option. These are meals that come together really quickly with less prep time. Green Chef does have several different recipes to choose from week to week within each eating lifestyle. Plus you can decide how many meals you want to receive and how many people you want those meals to feed. My husband and I have been enjoying Green Chef boxes for several months now, and actually one of our favorites is the vegetarian box. And I like those meals specifically because not only are they tasty, but they don't take very long to prep. In fact, in our last box, we got one of the vegetarian fast and fit options. It was a roasted red pepper hummus flatbread pizza with corn and zucchini, and I think it took me just a few minutes to prep that and then 10 minutes in the oven and it was ready to eat. One of the things that makes Green Chef really convenient and easy that I appreciate is that it comes with all of the ingredients already pre-portioned, pre-packaged, pre-measured, including the sauces and the seasonings that you're using, plus a really colorful instruction card with pictures and step-by-step instructions to help you make the meal. My husband and I were talking about Green Chef, and we actually use it a lot for lunch preps or on evenings whenever the kids' meals are already taken care of and we're just wanting something for ourselves. But we were both saying that the meals that we have had have all been great. We haven't had a single dud, not one fail in the bunch. And it's all stuff that we would not have picked if we were just perusing through Pinterest looking for things to make. Like, these are all dishes that we probably would not have tried on our own. And some of them include flavors and spices that we probably wouldn't go out and buy just for one dish, but being able to get just the amount we need for that one specific recipe makes it much more reasonable for us to try those dishes. Green Chef is offering a deal for my viewers for first-time customers. You can visit the link in the description box below, greenchef.com, and use the code Mindy130 to get $130 off plus free shipping on your first box. I made a video last summer with a 2-ingredient dinner shortcut that is pretty popular for us in the summer, and that is to take a rotisserie chicken, take the meat off of the bone, and then combine it with a ready-made dip from the deli, you know, like a ranch dip or a spinach artichoke dip or maybe one of the Tex-Mex style dips. You just stir that all together and then you can use it in a variety of ways. It goes well on rice, it goes well on pasta. Sometimes we'll just put it on ciabatta rolls and eat it as sandwiches. You could warm it up and put it on baked potatoes. It's up to you, but it's super easy. Doesn't take very long for me to do, and I can use it a variety of ways. So I'll leave that video linked in the description box below also. Another favorite summer meal, I mean, you can do this anytime, but something that my kids especially ask for all year long, but that we tend to eat in the summer, is walking tacos. I think this is probably one of my kids' top 3 favorite meals, maybe their favorite. And it's where you take a bag of chips. We usually use Doritos or Cool Ranch Doritos or Frito chips, corn chips. You crush them up and then you put taco toppings and fillings inside the bag. Things like seasoned ground meat or chicken, beans, salsa, lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream. You basically make a taco in a bag and then you can walk around and eat it. And the great news is there's a lot less cleanup because the bag is your dish, and when you're done with it, you just throw it in the trash. And speaking of summer, before charcuterie was a thing, we were having snack supper. And that is where I just look at our pantry and our refrigerator and I take out cheese, crackers, lunch meat, chips and salsa, vegetables, fruit, different kinds of snacky things. And a lot of times I don't even make plates with it for everybody. I just put it out on the counter and everybody kind of snacks on things throughout the evening. I don't have to heat up my kitchen. I don't have to do any cooking, and it's a great way to clear up half-used packages or open packages of those types of items, which if you watch my channel, you know that I'm super passionate about because I do a lot of pantry cooking challenges. One of my absolute favorite of all time crock pot recipes is a crock pot roast. I think the original recipe was for sandwiches and it comes from the Skinny-ish dish. I'll see if I can find it and I'll leave it linked in the description box below. But it's basically just a chuck roast with pepperoncinis, Italian dressing mix, the powder kind, some broth, and some garlic. And the key is to let it cook a long time. I usually start the crock pot the night before and let it cook all day the next day. And then we have this really, really fork tender roast that shreds really easily. And seriously, it takes me less than 5 minutes to pop all of those ingredients into the crock pot. Sometimes I'll add a package of baby carrots on the bottom, and then we'll pop some baked potatoes in the oven, or maybe even just make a pouch of the instant mashed potatoes, and we have dinner. Plus, the leftovers make really great nachos, baked potatoes, quesadillas, and lots of other things that I've mentioned in this video. I know that spaghetti is nothing new and exciting. If you have a family, you're probably making spaghetti in some form or fashion. It's just one of those sort of stereotypical, standard family fare dishes. But sometimes I will actually use my crock pot, and especially my slow cooker Aura, because I can actually saute the ground beef or the sausage that I'm using to make the sauce in that particular slow cooker. And then I could just switch the setting to slow cook. I could put all the other ingredients for the sauce and then just pop the lid on and let it slow cook. And the reason why I like this as an easy meal is because sometimes we need to eat in shifts. Sometimes we have kids who have early or late practices, or we have just different things that are keeping us coming and going from the house at different times. So having that sauce continue to simmer in a slow cooker and not on the stove where it might burn, and then just having the noodles already cooked, ready to go so that people can pop them in the microwave and reheat them, it allows people to eat whenever they need to or want to, or whenever they get home. Plus, allowing the sauce to simmer for a few hours in the slow cooker, not only does it allow me to get it going during the time of day when I actually have time to get it going, it also makes it taste better. Did you know that you can do a shrimp boil in the crock pot? I have done it before. It's delicious. We usually do it in the summertime, and it's something that my son will ask me to make once summertime comes along, until I make it. I will leave the recipe that I've used for this linked in the description box below, but basically I just used smoked sausage, shrimp, little ears of corn on the cob, and potatoes. And then you put all of that into the crock pot with a broth that you make using Old Bay seasoning. It cooks all day. And I take the laziness a step further. And with this one, I actually just spread some brown paper, some butcher block paper on our patio table. And once the shrimp boil is done cooking, I will take it out of the crock pot and just spread it out across the table with maybe a little melted butter for the corn and the shrimp, and some bread that people can use for dipping. And then when we're done eating, we just roll up the paper and take the trash out to the trash can. It doesn't even have to come back in the house, but it's so easy. It's just put all the stuff in the crock pot, let it cook all day, and then enjoy it. Two things that are not only quick dinners, but quick lunches for us in the summer: little chicken parm sliders. You just throw some chicken nuggets in the air fryer or the oven. You put them on some Hawaiian rolls with a little bit of marinara or tomato sauce, pizza sauce, a little bit of mozzarella cheese or provolone, and you've got yourself some chicken parm sliders. Also, little mini pizzas that you make using garlic toast. You know, the kind that you find in the frozen section at the grocery store that's already buttered and seasoned. Throw some pepperonis and some mozzarella cheese on that and pop them into the oven, and you've got little mini garlic toast pizzas. And then you can just have, you know, some fruit, maybe some vegetables or a salad on the side. Super easy. My kids love pancakes. They will eat pancakes any day of the week, and they're not that hard to make, whether using, you know, a box mix or making them from scratch. What I don't like about pancakes is making them. It takes a while, right? Because I can only make a few batches at a time on my griddle. But have you tried sheet pan pancakes? That's where you basically pour the pancake batter into a sheet pan and you bake it, and then all you have to do is slice it up. I will, however, get my griddle out to make hot sandwiches, toasted sandwiches, because I can do sandwiches for the entire family all at the same time, and I can assemble them directly on the griddle. I probably shouldn't recommend that because it's pretty easy to burn your fingers, but I've been doing it for a long time because I don't want to have to assemble the sandwiches separately and then have them fall apart as I'm trying to transfer them to the griddle. But we've done turkey and cheese, plain grilled cheese, ham and cheese, roast beef. I've even made some that use pesto and tomatoes and mozzarella cheese in the summertime. Oh, so good. So thank you again to Green Chef, and be sure to visit the link in the description box. And don't forget to use the code Mindy130 for $130 off plus free shipping. And I hope this was helpful and gave you some ideas. If you want some more quick and easy family meal ideas, be sure to check out this video right here. I will leave it linked in the description box below.